Welcome. Today I will be showing you a bit more of the IW17 designer. Polished and produced videos take a lot of time and we are currently focused on development. We want to show you what we are doing though during this time. So today will be an unpolished and minimally produced video. We hope you accept this compromise in order to see the latest developments and allow us to remain focused on developments. This is the IW17 designer. This is the guest demo for IW17. And you'll see we now have a live preview designer, and it's in fact more than a preview. You can fully edit everything. This guest example, for example, has some JQI accordions, and you can see they're actually live at design time. This is actually running using Chrome, so what you see here really is what you're going to get when you go to the output. Now you can see I can select different controls, and they're highlighted. From there I can move them up and down. These ones are just in simple stack panels, but you can see there's a lot of layouts over here, including there's one called fixed. This is the typical grid or XY that many of you are used to. This lets you just drag and drop things and put them at a specific position, along with anchors and those sorts of things. The designer doesn't support those yet, but will within the next week, so I can't quite show you that yet, but keep subscribed to our channel and our blog and we'll show you when that's ready. But we support the other layouts. For example, this is an accordion. It's actually a layout, and it has a simple stack inside. And the simple stack just stacks things one on top of each other. So for example, these controls are all children of the simple stack. So you can see up here, this is the tree which shows all the parents. So right now, this is a selected item. That's a simple stack. It doesn't have a name. Things with names are not in italics. So for example, this is an edit. It's called guess edit. These ones here, since they're italics, are showing you, they don't have a name, but they're showing you what class or control it is. And if it has this little symbol next to it, that means it's a layout. That means it can contain other controls. When you select a layout, it'll show you the child controls underneath it. So for example, if I come select the go button, it's called, the name is actually guess button, but it says go. You'll see it says guess button up here. And you can see I can come use the object inspector, and let's change this to guess. And now it'll update over here. So it really is two-way, and you can come set the events just like you can in a normal application. So once I have guess here, but maybe I want this button to be up higher, there's a couple ways I can move it. But one easy way is I can just click this and it'll move it up. And so for instance, if I select a layout, I'll go back to the stack and I'll go back to button. I can actually press escape. If I select here and then press escape, it'll go up the tree. So you can use escape to move to select the parent. And this is really useful because sometimes the parents, you can't actually see them because they don't have much of a border or the contents completely contain them. Or I can select it up here. So if I go back to the button again, you can see it selected. I can come up here and I can click on any of these and it will select them. And this simple stack is a child of the accordion. So once I select it, and you'll see it has all these children in it. Now what's really cool, if I want to add stuff, let's select a button. And I can select layouts only, or I can select all the different controls, and there's much more coming as well. I can search for them. So if I wanted to use the buttons, you can see we have the normal button, the bootstrap button, and the JQI button. So right now you select it, and then you can drag this right here. This is a temporary thing. It'll eventually look much, much better, and you'll see live previews of the controls. And as you can see at the top of the designer, it says this is a designer preview. And the reason we're doing this is we realized we couldn't ship 17 without a designer. So we're going to have a preview designer, which will be fully functional, but the designer itself will still be a preview while 17 will be release code itself. So once I have this button here, I can drag and I can drop it. So for instance, if I want to add another button right after the other guess, I can just come over here and I can hover over it, and you'll see it showing me, the blue is showing me where it will add it if I drop it. So I drop it, and now I have a new button here. And I can move it up, and I can move it down, or I can delete it. And there's keystrokes for these as well. So let's say that I want to add something between these things, or I want to add it to a layout. I can also come up here, and first let's select a layout. Okay, so I can see the children of the layout. And then I can take the button, and you see these little 3 dots between the controls? I can drop it on those 3 dots, and it'll put it between those 2 controls. So it makes inserting things really, really easy to do. And you'll see, for example, I can also drop directly on. So if I want to come over here and I want to put the button into the simple stack, I can put it there and it'll add it directly to the end of that layout. And this is really useful when I don't have access or I can't see it or it may not be visible. I can just drop things and I can put them on and then I can move them around as I need. That one actually dropped into the button, so it ended up with the other button. Or you can see in this case, it's placing them live, but it isn't quite updating. You can see a few glitches. For instance, this green thing isn't quite focused. But you can see overall the designer is very functional, and we're actually able to use it as pretty much as is. We've still got a little ways to go, but by the end of January, we expect things should be really functional, and this designer should actually be fully usable to develop your 17 applications. Thank you.